We move on to TD, who says to another poster, David, you watched a soccer game in another country and lived to tell about it? Oh, yeah. So violent. Were any urine or blood bags thrown at you while you were in the stands?
Unoriginal.
And why would Americans travel to another country to watch guys faking injuries for 90 minutes?
Cliche.
You know, I hate it when people bring up the hooligan aspect. Yes, there has been history of hooliganism in the sport, but you know what? It's being played all around the world.
Right.
They're going to be idiots in all aspects of sports.
Right.
Like the Philadelphia Eagle fans who are throwing batteries at the Santa Claus.
Right.
That was out there. Let's not forget the Pacer.
When the Pacers went up in the crowd and started beating up fans. Yeah, I mean, the whole point is this, Brett. Imagine if there were American football, gladiator football, all over the world, 200 plus countries. I guarantee if the sport was that popular, there would be hooliganism in that as well. So don't blame a sport for the fans' activities. No one's playing on the soccer fields in Europe is saying, we want violence, we want violence. In fact, they do everything to say we don't want violence. Quit being violent. All right. The next guy, this guy really made me want to puke up a big hairball, if you know what I mean, if I were a cat. Reliance. He said, I coached AYSO soccer. And he says, I was a referee. Oh, God help us. He goes on, it was fun for the young kids and a great game for teaching sportsmanship and teamwork. Also great for conditioning. But it is a boring game to watch. And until they repeal the offsides rule, it will always be boring.
You know, it makes me question his mentality when he will sit there and coach a sport. He'll sit there and rep a sport, but he hates the sport. That doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to go ump a baseball match.
Right.
I find that sport incredibly boring, but I don't want to be anywhere near it unless it's a social event.
Right.
You know. And congratulations for coaching and reffing at AYSO.
Yeah, congratulations. Woo! You know, this guy should be banned from AYSO, from coaching or refereeing ever. And you know, if you don't like spinach, don't eat it. If you don't like soccer, don't freaking referee or coach it, okay? Get the hell out of the way.
I feel bad for the kids that he's coaching, too.
Me too.
If he hates the sport, he can't be a great coach. It's a fact, you know?
Oh, I'm sure all his kids think he's a total fucking piece of shit. But anyhow, let's see. Oh, I just want to send out a note because there are a lot of people who are soccer fans. They kept saying in these posts, Brett, that they should call American football handball because they use their hands. But I need to tell these soccer fans, quit saying that because you know what? There's already a sport named handball. And it's pretty popular in some places. So make a different argument. You could call it gridiron or whatever you want to call it. But handball...
Oddly enough, a lot of Europeans say that too, though. They refer to American football as handball as well.
Yeah, and that's stupid because there's already a sport called handball. Yep. It's an Olympic sport, actually. All right, Mike Johnson says the following things. Soccer is like watching grass grow. Mike Johnson reading your post is like watching grass grow, you moron. You unoriginal piece of crap. All right, next post. Handball says the following for 3 points. Have any of you guys played football? I haven't. I do not even want to watch a football game again. It is for people who have nothing else to do. Run around the field after the ball the whole day until someone accidentally gets the ball in the goal. I do not blame Americans for not getting interested in such a boring activity. Just go jogging, you'll feel better. That's what he said, Brett.
How much you want to bet he was coached and or reffed by the AYSO? I don't even want to go into it. Accidentally score, nothing else to do, seriously. We're not going to, let's move on.
Here's another three-pointer. Who cares is his name. Who cares about this argument, actually? But anyhow, we'll read it. Americans don't like soccer because it's long and boring. Long? It's long? Okay. Let's see. He goes on and says, you can tie. He doesn't like ties, apparently. And it's hard to support a team that loses to a third-world country like Ghana. So he doesn't like the sport because the USA lost to Ghana.
Dumbass. We'll just start with the long and boring aspect. Yeah, long, really, I have a feeling that it is the shortest professional sport that you could watch over all of the other sports here in the U.S.
Exactly.
American football, baseball, basketball, all of which exceed 3 hours.
Yep.
If we're we're lucky, if we're lucky, it might take 3 hours.
Yep.
2.5, 3 hours at the very least.
Yes. This guy's an idiot, obviously.
Yeah. To end with a tie, to be fair, a lot of people who don't understand the sport and don't like the sport have this issue. I like ties because it doesn't give the team that doesn't deserve the win. You know.
Right.
If you didn't deserve the win, if you deserved it, you would have won. We'll put it that way.
The one that gets my goat, Brett, is he doesn't like a sport because a third world country is good at it. Like, hey, buddy, there are lots of African countries that play basketball. So I suppose if they ever get good at it, we should stop playing basketball in the United States. Because obviously if a third world country can be good at it, it's not worth our time.
And it's a stupid argument. Because basically what they're saying is, I will only like what I'm good at. What they're saying is they're fair weather fans of any sport.
Yeah. Well, no worries. That guy died in a car accident the day after he posted this, and when they opened up his skull, they found a big pile of dog turd. All right. Now, that's kind of offensive to dog turd, actually. The next guy says, John is his name. He says, did not care about it in the first place. I'd watch paint dry first.
Unoriginal.
Here we go to the next one. USA is his name. He says, the U.S. will never be a powerhouse in football. The average MLS player only makes around $40 grand a year. With that kind of incentive, will young people have to become professional soccer players in the United States? The only hope MLS players have to make decent money is to get signed to the European League. That is too bad because the other beauty about soccer is that you don't have to be 6'8" or 300 pounds to play it. Well, that's all true, but his beginning is completely factually incorrect, Brett.
Unbelievably factually incorrect. $40K a year, even in the old numbers, when the cap was $2.3 million, the average was approximately around 88 to 90 million or 90,000 per player.
Mm-hmm.
That's the average. That's not median. That's not what every player is making. It's the average.
Right.
And I think a lot of people don't understand that term, average.
No, they don't, because if they did understand average, when this particular guy looks in his drawers and sees, oh, I'm average, and he's 4 inches long, he'd realize he's not average because he should be at least 5.5 inches. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then the current numbers for MLS, the average salary per player is about 110,000 roughly.
Penis jokes.
The league minimum is 40,000 a year.
Yeah, the league minimum. Did you catch that I made the penis joke there?
Yeah, I caught that.
Okay, all right. The last one is Ratical is his name. What an idiot. See, when you have a name like that just to start, you're already an idiot. I almost have to not read this, but his name is Ratical. He says, no real American cares about soccer, but it's nice that third world countries have a sport to keep themselves entertained.
Dumbass.
What's up with this real American thing?
I don't know.
It seems like a common factor among people.
I tell you what, this real American will go find out where this guy lives and beat his un-American ass to the floor. How's that for a threat?
It's a dumb comment. It really is.
Right. I'll show him how American I am. When he's begging for mercy, I'll actually grant it. All right, folks, that's it. We did it. We have a winner. And, this thing went way over. So, Brett, thanks for joining us again, or me again, I guess, for the dumbest soccer posters of the world. Good night.